I'd like to invite to the podium Mr. Glenn Brand as he will introduce and present Heather Clark.
This past spring marked the 100th year of track and field at Brewer High. And as part of the celebration, we invited alumni back to participate in a ceremony before our home meet. The most common question I received from the distance runners on our girls outdoor track team was, is Heather Clark coming to the meet? When I was able to confirm that Heather was planning on attending, I faced a new question. Do you think she will take a picture with us? I was kind of surprised how excited they were to meet. As one girl breathlessly put it, Heather Clark, the woman, the myth, the legend. But when I thought about it, their enthusiasm did make sense. Track is very much a numbers game. Personal bests, qualifying times, school, league, and state records, and Heather's name is all over the record books. When you consider the distance, the 800, the mile, the 2 mile, 5 different males hold those 6 school records spanning indoor and outdoor track. But for females, for all 6 records, there is just one name, Heather Clark. When the big day came, the girls got to meet Heather and have their picture taken with her, and it was truly a special moment. The girls were giddy and starstruck, and Heather was very gracious with them. But the most compelling thing for me was what happened later that evening at a dinner that we hosted for the alumni. Several alumni spoke about their memories of their time on our track and cross-country teams, and eventually Heather hesitantly walked to the front of the room. It was right here, actually. She expressed astonishment at the attention lavished on her earlier that day, and in a shaky voice said, "Who am I? I am nobody." By the end of this introduction, I think you will agree with me that Heather Clark is not a nobody. When Heather entered high school in the fall of 1999, she joined teams that had been very successful in the preceding years. The cross-country team had won a state championship in 1997, as had the indoor track team in 98 and 99. Early mentors and training partners were veterans of those championship teams, in particular Lisa Patterson and Heather Giovanelli, who were juniors at the time. Heather immersed herself in the team culture that track coach Dave Jeffrey and I tried to establish with our teams, one of family and trust and support. I know that Heather has fond memories of those days, sitting around the campfire on our annual cross-country training camp, team dinners and movie nights, making t-shirts for our championship meets, and the daily bonding that takes place in practice. This structure seemed critical in the development of Heather, not only as a competitor, but as a person. By the end of her freshman year, Heather raced to an Eastern Maine championship at the outdoor 800, placed in both the indoor and outdoor state meets, competed in the New England championships, and was near the top of her class in academics, and she carried herself with confidence. Heather's sophomore and junior years were characterized by a steady progression to the point where she was setting school and league records and winning her first state championship. Her senior year is unequaled in a school that has been blessed with many accomplished female distance runners over the years. People were still subscribing to newspapers back in the early 2000s. Seems like a distant memory now. And Heather was exceedingly photogenic. It was a constant object of the photographer's lens in sports where the media is often drawn to the compelling individual story. In some ways, she was a local celebrity and recognizable to members of the general public. Her sister Rachel told an amusing story of being stopped in the grocery store and being mistaken for Heather. as the well-meaning shopper wished her good luck in her next race. In cross country that year, Heather was undefeated in the regular season and won the conference championship meet. Finished second in state, 8th at New England's, to earn all New England honors, and was named the Nike Foot Locker All-American. Indoor track saw her tie with Hamden rival Oriana Farley for top performer in the EMITL championship meet and set a league record in the mile, win her second state championship, and finish 6th at New England's. She finished off her high school career in style with an outstanding outdoor track season, where she won 2 events at the PBC championship meet, setting a league record in the mile that still stands 13 years later. Her quest to break the 5-minute mile barrier captivated the local area, and she ultimately fell just short with personal best times of 5:04 in the outdoor mile and 5:03 in the outdoor 1600. It was a magical year to be a part of, and I will never forget it. Heather graduated as salutatorian at the class of 2003 with a grade point average of 95.2. It was heavily recruited by colleges all across the country. I remember sitting down with her and researching schools with quality nursing and distance running programs, and we made a list of about a dozen schools to consider. Calls started coming in from coaches at the University of Mississippi, University of Colorado, Sacred Heart, and many others. In a ceremony in the Verheide Library, Heather signed a national letter of intent to attend Florida State University on full scholarship. She went to Tallahassee and was the 4th runner and top freshman on the Lady Seminoles cross-country team that earned a bid to the NCAA Division I championship meet at the University of Northern Iowa, where they finished 18th in the country. After successful track seasons to conclude her freshman year, Heather made the decision to leave FSU and transfer to the University of Maine. She graduated from UMaine in 2007 with a BS in nursing and is currently a registered nurse practicing at the Dorothea Dick Psychiatric Center in Bangor. She lives in Bangor, is a loving mom to her 4 children, 2 sons and 2 daughters between the ages of 2 and 10. And Heather's mom shared with me tonight that today is Heather's birthday, so happy birthday, Heather. I think Heather's story illustrates the powerful role that athletics can play in a young person's life. How many of us here tonight felt like we were nobodies until we found a sport that we could excel in or a coach who believed in us? How many of us were stuck in the mindset that since we came from the wrong side of town or because our families were poor, that there were limits on what we could achieve, until we busted through a mental or physical barrier in the arena of competition? How many of us would probably have never gone to college or become as successful in our careers if we hadn't learned the discipline and goal-setting skills necessary to take our place on the award stand? Who am I? Who are you? We were all nobodies who somehow found the courage to become somebody, just like Heather Clark. It is a distinct honor for me to introduce our next Hall of Fame inductee, the woman, the myth, the legend, Heather Clark.
It's amazing for even me to hear of the various accomplishments And sadly enough, some of them I wasn't even aware that I had. Honest, I didn't realize I had so many wins and titles and nominations. Because really what it was just about for me was running, and it just so happened that I'd win. So I heard a rumor that when I joined the cross-country team my freshman year, one of the coaches, I'm not sure which one to blame, wanted to know who the chubby girl was. So I'm proud to not be chubby today and to be very successful on the team. It may sound as though I copied my notes from Coach Rand because a lot of what he said is a lot of what I want to say. I start off by saying it's an honor to be recognized here tonight. And as my mom let the cat out of the bag, not only is it an induction ceremony for me into the Brewer Athletic Hall of Fame, but it just so happens to be my birthday, and I can't think of a better way to celebrate. Brewer cross country and track and field has been a vital part of my life. It has afforded me so many opportunities that I otherwise would not have had the privilege of experiencing. I feel forever indebted to Coach Rand and Coach Jeffrey for believing in me and investing so much of themselves in me. Without their support, I would never have believed in myself, nor been able to use running to soar to new heights. I thank the Brewer Athletic Department for supporting cross-country and track and field over the years. It truly takes a special type of people to love running. And it's been on these teams that I've found a close-knit family, where no matter what event or success level you were excited. Many of my fondest memories in life are running for Brewer High School. When I think back over the fun, the camaraderie, the practices, the meets, and the championships, I felt honored to be part of such an elite group of athletes. Thank you again for nominating me to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and congratulations to my fellow inductees.